Hello, Dr. Juice here. Today we're going to be talking about repetition. And what happens in repetition exactly? I have fought the Sekiro boss 100 times. I'm doing the game Charmless, and I'm doing 100% complete of the game Charmless. And I'm trying to beat the two hardest bosses in the game. That is Emma and that is Ishin Ashina. And these bosses are extremely difficult. And I have to repeat these bosses over and over again. I think I have fought these bosses 100 times, maybe 150 times. But the funny thing is that the progress is not linear. It's not continuous. It's discontinuous. So one run, I might get, I don't know, 8. So in this game, you have some health vials, basically. They're called gourds. You sip them, and you have like 10 of them, or 9 of them. I have 9 of them. And you sip them, and this regains your health. But in this game, if you run out of the gourds, the life drinks, you kind of die pretty quickly after you run out of them. So in some runs, I'll beat the first phase of the boss with like 9 gourds or 8 or 9 gourds. Whereas other runs, I'll beat the boss in with only 2 gourds left over for the phase 1. And then I go into phase 2 and then I always lose so far at this point. So the funny thing is though is that these can happen back to back. So I beat the boss on phase 1 and have 2 gourds left over, or in the next run I have like 9 gourds left over. And this system is a little bit chaotic, right? So it's discontinuous as well. I've played bosses where I will lose over and over again with no hope in sight, and then suddenly I'll win with some, hyper amount of focus or something like that. It's hard to say exactly why I win. Maybe it's just luck, or maybe it's really that in that moment I tapped into some high level of focus that I did not do in the previous attempts. So this is kind of like some chaotic theory, but it's also highlights the ability to have discontinuous outcomes. So even if you have failed every time before it, you still have the opportunity to succeed this time around. And that is discontinuous improvement. And it actually happens more often in life than in video games or in artificial setups anywhere. We will try as a society or as human beings to set up these continuous improvements in life, whether it's with games or with jobs or with society, with schooling, with ranking in video games or ranking in sports. All of these things have kind of continuous improvement, but they're artificially set up that way. Oftentimes, when it comes to the real things in life, we have discontinuous improvement. That means you get a promotion suddenly and you go from a mid-level job position to a high-level job position, and then it snowballs. Or maybe suddenly you have put in enough practice as a singer or a guitarist where your music is finally starting to sound good to people, whereas before it did not. So, life is full of discontinuous improvements. If you look out for them, you may be able to see them. That's Dr. Juice. That's all. Thanks. Bye.